We're back. I'm actually making a proper video.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Today we're actually gonna do stuff because this is the first of hopefully many, but I'm doing an experiment today. I'm actually recording this in the middle of a live stream, and I'll probably have the video completed within the same live stream. And the plan for today is, as I said before, I just want to hook up a Bonemeal system to the flower farm, maybe touch up a few edges. I don't know. I'm kind of freestyling it today. But first and foremost, I got a comment from this guy right here. You can see him on screen. Requesting that I check out the Dragon Melon farm and give an update. Dragon Melon for the Nether farm progress thinger. And then I give an update on the apple farm, which I thought was a weird request because that was an old project and I've sort of covered it a few times, but I figured we'd just check it out anyway and show you guys what it looks like nowadays. Okay, so here we are. Here's a story that I don't like telling because I kind of see it as a failure, but in all reality, it's not so much a failure as it was just kind of a poorly timed project. So the Dragon Melon progress for the Nether farm actually got astoundingly far. See, that's why I don't consider it a failure, because like of the 3 million dragon eggs and melons, I think each, that we placed, we got like, this is how far we got, like up until the very last 2 layers. We've got the melons to do, and then of course the dragon eggs. I'm gonna go to 32. Shut up, gas. No. And then the dragon eggs, and then it would be completely done. We got very, very far, and honestly speaking, could probably still finish this. However, I say poorly timed because this project was started something like 6 months, or no, like 7, 8, 9 months into the lifespan of the Minerva Season 2 world. And for that reason, you know, at that sort of life cycle in a world, typically interest is waning and, you know, progress kind of goes down everywhere because players stop being interested. And this was one of those projects where quite a few people, including myself... Oh, thank you, Rectic, for setting that. I think he said the melons, bro. You can see people who did a ton of progress, including Rectic, who apparently... Is that placed or craft?
That's crafted.
Okay, yeah. Rectic actually... Yeah, he did that a long time ago. He crafted pretty much all of the melons we needed. And we placed a great deal of them. But you have to understand that this was step 1. This was step 1. As soon as the melons and dragon eggs... Remember, I'm flying over this with 32 render distance. This perimeter is 928 by 928, which is a little bit larger than an Xbox 360 Minecraft world. The whole world. The whole 864 by 864, I believe it is, on Xbox 360 and PS3. So once we removed all of that, we'd have to build the largest world eater I've ever... Actually, people build bigger. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, a massive world eater just to go through all of this. And that's just preparation. Once the hole is dug, we can finally start decorating it and then building the farms inside. Yeah, not looking to... not looking like that'll ever properly get finished. So that... At least not in this world, right? So that is the progress, since you asked. I've shown progress reports a couple times, but that's it. So we actually got very far. I'm truly proud of what we did do. And that's where it sits today. So let's check out the apple farm, and then we can move on back to the flower forest. Rectic is just having a really good time. A really good time. He's just a little bummed because he lost his lifetime. How long were you alive?
Longer than you.
Wasn't it like 30 million?
Something like that, I don't know.
If anybody wants to do the math, that is ticks. That is 20 per second. 30 million is like 2 or 3 weeks of in-game time. That's ridiculous. Let me go into spectator just so I can do this a little bit of justice, but this is the Dark Oak farm. It was winterized for the winter, and then that was right around the time people stopped playing as much, and it got turned into a windmill. So for my first episode on this ever, it was just an apple farm, and then we made it. And I've covered this thing quite a few times on my channel, but it's been since evidently blown up. And are you running it right now? Okay.
Yeah. For demonstration
a little bit of a slight hiccup, yeah. And as you can see, it still clearly works. The wood's getting pushed along right in here. And then it gets pushed out even further. And then in just a second here, he keeps growing. There we go. TNT gets pushed into those fences. I did that. just so it's more centralized, and that way we don't lose any wood. And then the farm just works as it does, and it's pretty cool. I just want to see it push again to show that it pushes the wood off, and then it'll blow up. I can watch this thing forever, honestly. I sometimes set up a second account just so I can watch the wood get pushed around, and it's just great. And then it all funnels up here into the dark oak wood shulker box loaders, and then we get shulker boxes full. This is empty now because I remember emptying this out, putting it into the storage room, and then I don't think I returned to this project since. So currently it's just getting filled in here, just like so. And this thing is about a little over 20,000 an hour, and it's a pretty insane farm. That is, from experience, I can tell you, so much faster than mining it by hand. It's not even close. And fairly fittingly, this was not on accident. I built this right next to a dark oak forest, just because. Actually, I think it was an accident, because we built the universal tree farm first. I just put this down here day 1 or 2 or like day 4 of the server. We made a universal tree farm just to get all the wood types out of the way, and then just right above it we put up the dark oak farm. And of course you put it next to the forest, because you have to understand that getting these things started means you need like a stack of saplings, which takes a lot. It kind of takes a lot of work. So this was all dark oak forest before the farm was put in, and now here it sits right next to a forest that will remain intact and not deforested because we can generate it here. So that's what happened to the apple farm. And also I wanted to mention that, oh, I was gonna mention something and I'm blanking right now. The dragon eggs that I have are now boxes. Pablo, one of our server operators, made this mod pack or resource pack for me, because dragon eggs on that on the dragon egg and melon project, it gets laggy in a really weird way. So there are like memory leaks in Minecraft where over time the dragon eggs will just bring me down to like 20 frames a second, where I just refresh all my chunks and it goes back up to like 100 or 200 or wherever I was at. And that's because the actual dragon egg model, I'll try to show a picture on this for you guys, is actually like 6 different cubes put into a cone-ish egg shape to form the egg that you see. So when you have a resource pack to correct it, where it's just sort of the same texture, but it's just 1 cube, it's a lot easier on your system over time, even though dragon eggs inherently aren't that laggy. So that's why I have this on, and I kept it on just for no good reason. And so if you were wondering, all right, so it's been like, I don't know, 2 hours or so since I've actually recorded another clip. I've been tinkering with this thing a lot. I've been building this over and over and over again, just because I've been messing it up and I didn't properly plan before starting, but I think I've got the hang of it. So basically, this is vestigial. Basically, the shulker boxes will come in here, and then they'll get unloaded through here, and then they'll start going up this dropper elevator, and they're sort of filling in now. And all of these observers bring them all the way up to this dispenser. But they don't actually power the dispenser, the actual farm does that. And this will basically be the input. If I build this the same way on each farm, you'll basically have 1 hopper. And the idea is, it'll fill in from this side to this side, and as soon as this hopper has, like, I don't know, I might make this hopper full, I might make it just 1 item in it, but if this hopper is full, then it means that this hopper is full, and this dispenser is full, and if this hopper has items in it, then it'll mean that this dispenser at least has, you know, it's full on shulker boxes full of bone meal, which means that this system is effectively stocked with bone meal. And then I can just take that output and maybe, for example, hook up this hopper to an ice stream, and then I'll just lock that hopper, so it'll just ignore this hopper, and then continue on to the next farm. And then I'll just run a loop throughout all of the flower farms, and that way it should distribute all of the bone meal boxes. And I'm pretty sure that's okay to, like, leave the area and come back, because it'll just be shulker boxes and an item stream, but that should work. And with all intents and purposes, this actually could be functional, I think. So, yeah, Repper was jumping around here bored for a long time, so I kicked him and told him to go play Fortnite. Okay, yep, that sounds like a working farm. That's interesting. This isn't actually work. Oh, you know what? I broke this as well. Alright, this should be working. I flicked a switch. I'm going into spectator just so I can view. And it's working! Oh, and flowers! They're popping off. And they're getting picked up by minecarts. And then they're getting shot down here. And then they're flowing through Eratige's ice streams of magicalness. Look, they've made it all the way to the... That's... I think that works. Okay, whatever. I don't know. As long as the item elevator works. Then they're supposed to come on all the way up here. And... Oh, shoot. Did he do the filters? Okay, it would appear as though he did. And just like that, the Oxide Daisies are getting picked on up. These are... Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright. Look at that. They're working. Where do the seeds go? Did he... Oh, you know what? I forgot. We actually store seeds as well in here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the Oxide Daisies should basically be going into shulker boxes that aren't there right now. Alright, well, I'll get those in place, but I'm glad to see that this is, in fact, working. So I took a ton of shulker boxes, took a little bit of time, and filled in every single one of these boxes. I found this trick that I can't demonstrate because they're full. But if I use crafting tweaks, it saves the last thing that I crafted, so I could just do shift and tab, and it remembers that I did shulker boxes. And then I can use a macro key that I made that just basically spams Q a bunch of times. And then I can just hold the shift and tab while spamming Q, and it just spits out tons and tons of shulker boxes. And that's a pretty fast way to craft. So now that this is full, I can show you guys what I just showed you right down there. That the flowers are entering the shulker boxes and neatly now. And then when they're full, they'll be pushed out down here. And I don't know if we farmed any flowers enough to actually have them spit out down here, but they will do. So remember what I said about kind of just practicing this design? I'm not actually sure if I said that in the video, but I said it on stream. And I've been talking about that, how like I needed to redo this multiple times because it kind of just kept messing up over and over and over. But the second time that I built, you know, the shulker box unloader, now I haven't double checked this, I'm not 100% if everything's working right, but it seems as though everything should be working, you know, completely fine. And it really only took me like 10 minutes. So that's kind of cool. How like the first one was a practice run, figuring out how far deep I'm going to go, how all the wiring is going to work, planning it out. But now that I've done it once, it's like, yeah, this will probably be pretty easy to do the rest. And it'll be looking pretty good. And then just like the other one, I can... How did I do this before? Something like that. And then plug that into an output. Although I feel like that was lower before. Yeah, I probably went off to the side like so. So, yeah, this will be a lot easier to set up on the other one. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Okay, so progress has been made. I am excited to report that we have... I'm pretty happy about this because I'm excited to report that most of these modules... Not most, but a good amount of these modules have been put in. I spent a good amount of time putting these in. Just like the second one, once I got the first one done and figured out exactly what I was doing and sort of had a mental template, it became pretty easy to complete a few of the Bonemeal distribution systems. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I didn't complete them all. It's been about 9 hours into the stream. I took a little bit of a break, but I spent a good chunk of my day working on these. And there's still definitely a lot of work to go. But I am pretty happy with the progress we've made. So what I can demonstrate now is this one. The Oxide Daisy farm is the only one I believe where I've actually like filled in Bonemeal. This is the first one we worked on. And I can demonstrate that by flying up here real quick and showing kind of how all this works with one final demonstration. So you turn on the lever, instantly gets a little more laggy in here, just lost about 50 frames a second because this is now operating. So the only problem with this is the minecarts don't seem to pick up everything that comes through here, which is a bit of a shame. But there's not a ton I can easily do about that. However, for all intents and purposes, it will still produce a metric crap ton of flowers, so I'm really not too concerned. And then, you know, besides that, the items make it up into the item stream. They get filtered out by these ×2 speed sorters. It's amazing just how archaic this is. Such a simple design with them facing straight down, but I'll be honest in telling you that I don't think I ever even knew about this. Apparently the trick was these have to be full. Otherwise, it doesn't work. But if this middle hopper is full, then it effectively operates at ×2 speed. So what we've got is 2 ×2 speeds hoppers, basically 18,000 items an hour each, which is about 36,000 items an hour, which keeps up with these farms' production rate of about 30k pretty easily. And then these are both filling into my design, and mine and Nuke, he and I work together on this, for a ×2 speed shulker box filler. So in here you can see that it's filling at ×2 speed. So there is no bottleneck, if you will, anywhere in the system other than collection out there. So once this is full, it'll get pushed down and then collected into the chest down below. But I haven't actually filled a shulker box full yet. And that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with the amount of work we've done here today. So yeah, that just about wraps up this episode. There might be one more thing I want to do, but I might turn it into the next episode. So I'll leave you on your toes with that if I don't cut in a clip. If that's the end of this episode, then thank you guys so much for watching, and aha! I bet you thought the video was over because I said it was over, but I decided I was gonna add just a short little ending to close out the video. So this is the iron farm storage. This is where we craft all of our iron, and we've already got about 3 million blocks in storage, but there's kind of been an issue here where I just dug all this out, but we had an in-floor shulker box loader where you just put your full iron, you put all your crafted iron into the shulker box, and then it breaks it and puts it into the system. And that makes it a really, really easy way to craft, and it's nice and centralized between both of these farms, or storage crafter things. And that's nice and all, but it's kind of, I don't know. It was nice to have it on the floor, but it didn't really work as functionally well as you'd think it should. So what I wanted to do was just rip it out and have like maybe a bit more clunkier design, but sort of in the floor. And I'm not going to cover this super thoroughly, just going to be more of a before and after to close out the video, and then I'll just have this project done. You know, this is just a prototype, but I'm really liking the look of this. Alright, well, let's get it wired up. Just like that, it's all different. So, I honestly feel like I've outdone myself here. I feel like this looks really slick. I know the course is just kind of thrown in there, but I like it. I think it works. It's nice and simple. It's nice and even. The wiring down here is pretty simple. This is just the observer line that it triggers, and then it sends it through kind of an ugly chain of hoppers, but I don't really care. It's not a big deal. And then the droppers just kind of move the shulker boxes along, which get powered by that observer. And then you put all your iron in here, and then it gets shot out these would be full shulker boxes of iron, get shot out into the system, and it all happens nice and covertly. Now, of course, I did run out of a little bit of space back here with the wiring, so I had to be a little tricky with some observers, but I don't care. If you want to see the full story, you can check out this stream. I think we're like 10 hours. So, I'm not going to fill up this because that's going to go into the system. Where is this left off? Okay. So just up there. I'll know that. So I grabbed a full shulker box of iron blocks. So when you're done crafting, it would just go in there. That's it. It just replaces it with a brand new one right on the floor. And then the full ones go up into there and then fill into the system right here. And that's it. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching the episode. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you liked this little pet project at the end on top of an even bigger pet project. Today was a pretty successful day of work. I'm going to be happy to work on this another time. I don't know if I'll do this again tomorrow. I'm feeling a little bit of Fortnite maybe, but who knows how I'll be feeling then. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice one.